Hello, everyone. Yes, we had a little technical problem, but we are here. So, hello, everyone. Welcome in this first Ask Me Anything of 2024. Today, I'm with Loic and Thomas. Hello, guys.
Hi, Mathieu.
Hi, everybody.
So, let's start before the question because we had a lot of questions from the community. We will start with a global overview of the first 3 months of 2024 with Loic. Do you
Yeah,
want to start?
yeah, great. Yeah, it was a great start of the year, I would say, for the crypto market and for Galeon too, because just if we look at the performance of the Galeon token, I think in November last year we were about 1 cent. Now we are about 80% more, like 1.8 cents. So that's quite good. And we're starting to recover for the bear market. On the crypto market, we see that it's the bull is there, the bull run is there. We see a lot of inflow from institutional buyers, especially the ETF that has been deployed in USA. And now you see a lot of inflow on BlackRock. I think it's about 13 or 40 billion dollars of inflow
already
from BlackRock, and part of the ETF inflow has been compensated by the Grayscale outflow because they are selling bitcoins, and they have sold about, I think it's $13 billion of Bitcoin, and the other ETF brings some inflow. So something is interesting is like we see that the price of Bitcoin is going up even with all this sell pressure from Grayscale. So it's a good sign that it's a huge amount of buy pressure from the institution, and usually it's in crypto, Bitcoin move first, and after it's the other crypto that's move.
So it's quite good. And do you have maybe some overview of the first for 3 months about Galeon, especially?
Oh yeah. It's a very intense year already. That's good. The team is growing well. Like we are focused on accelerate the growth. We see that more and more hospitals are deployed. I think right now they are working on 3 or 4 deployment at the same moment. So the our cover of the medical data it's much bigger. And now we cover more specialty, we cover more elements, and we see that I think we reach I think it's about 400,000 patient file already, even a bit more. So we see that the network is growing a lot, and at the same time, we are focused on selling the full EHR electronic health record solution for the hospital. And in our case, we are in a close discussion with already 2 hospitals for the full EHR. So that's quite good. And I hope that we can have some good news in the coming months about that.
And it means a lot of burn token too.
Yeah. It's like, as we say, we burn about every time we sell a module, like a part of the app is $10,000 that is buyback and burn. And what we plan is for the full EHR solution of a hospital to buyback and burn $50,000.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. Okay, nice. So we are already 50 on this live. It's quite good. Hello, everyone. Hello, Naim. Hello, Zaman. Hello, Daddy. Hello. We are here. Yeah. So we will start in English and then we will switch in French. No problem for the French guys. Okay, so let's start now with maybe some big milestone for the marketing team because Thomas is in the marketing team. So maybe you can make an overview of I don't know, what are the milestones for the marketing team.
Yeah, so we just had a question about marketing, so that's a good start. So we have several things that we have been preparing for a few weeks, and we will prepare in the next weeks. Our biggest milestone this year is Santexpo. So basically, it's to accompany the sales team to meet the hospital officials, the IT directors, and the directors of the hospitals. So that's the core business of Galeon, and it's the biggest event that we will be in. So it's in Paris. It's end of May, beginning of June. So we will communicate on that, and we hope that the community will be also present and come to our booth I think we have several surprises for the community there. So that would be very nice to meet you, and I think you will be surprised. Also, so the product, and Loic will talk about that a bit later, but the product is moving very fast. And so our job at the marketing team is to also to support the growth of the product, and the growth and the expansion of the coverage of the software. And so the marketing team has to, to push that, and to make it very understandable for the community, for the holders, and also for the buyers, of course. We have also another milestone, which is for you, I think, a very big thing. I've spent a lot of time on the support mails the past weeks, and I see that our website can be improved. And so we're working on a new version of the website, and a mobile version. And this is I think, the biggest, one of the biggest milestone we have this year. So probably before Santexpo. So we are pushing hard for that. And last but not least, of course, we talked about the bull run. So now Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some altcoins have moved a bit. And so in the bull run, Galéon will also follow the trend, and the marketing team is at the forefront of that.
Yeah, of course. And on the marketing side, we are, I would say, really. We know that there is a trend about AI, RWA, etc., and we are completely in the AI field, because, as you know, Galéon is the electronic case record of the hospital, the caregivers tool, and we use the blockchain because we use the blockchain to train medical AI in a decentralized manner. So we call it the blockchain swarm learning. It's a new kind of technology. It's a cutting edge technology to train the medical AI. So we are completely in this field, and I hope we will be like in the AI category of CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. Of course, I know that some people from the community are waiting this, but yeah, of course, we are completely in the AI. And maybe, Loic, you can explain the vision of Galéon at the start, because we are on the AI from the start of Galéon.
Yeah, that's a long story. I think when we started Galéon 8 years ago, AI was not a hype. It was like nobody was talking about it. And we worked on the medical AI part at this time, but it was impossible to train algorithm because of the data was in very bad quality. So we had to redo all the tools for the caregivers to make data in a good quality to be able to train medical AI. So what is really interesting now is like we reach a size that we have enough hospital. We have the hospital has gathered a lot of data, and they want to innovate. So now we're gonna work with them to create new AI models to help the doctors to structure the data, to make decisions, to move a bit faster on some elements, and to spend a bit more time on the patients. So, and the good thing is like the first step, I see some message about when swarm learning. The first step is to produce the first algorithm in-house, and we're gonna train them first locally, and after we're gonna train on the beta of the blockchain, because Galéon has to use our own tool to be able to be sure that it works and everything and it's secure. And once we go to this beta phase, after we can open up the system for other company.
So what are the milestones for the product?
Yeah, so for this year we have a lot of quite interesting milestone. I would say, we want to cover all the specialty of the hospital, and we cover probably around 40% right now, and we are working this year to cover we're gonna, at the end of the year, I guess we're gonna be about 70% of the coverage of the need of a hospital, because now it's going very fast. We reuse some pieces of the software for every specialty. This year we are focused on all the surgery pathway. So when the patient gonna have a surgery, all the steps around it, and connect all the dots and all the data around it. Um, so and it's key. Like we see that now a lot of hospital want our solution and want it for the full hospital. So we have to do move fast. And the next step will be to cover the last part. I will say start of next year. And at the same time, we have one key milestone is on the AI. So starting to do our first algorithm this year. And the other milestone is on the blockchain part, because we have worked a bit less on the website, blockchain, all the user interface for the last year. So now we increase the team on this part, and that's what Thomas has talked. We are working intensively on the new version of the blockchain part of Galion, and it will be quite interesting and right at the moment for the bull run.
Yeah. I hope we'll be ready for the Santexpo, but yeah, at least we'll be ready for the bull run because it's already started. Yeah, we have a lot of questions, but we will answer your question, guys, in English and in French, of course, at the end of I would say the Ask Me Anything. So let's start with the first question from the community on the forum. Some people want to see the software. Is it possible to see the software? I would say for now, we do not put a public screenshot or public video about the software, because we know that we have a lot of competitors that want to know about the technology we have and the interface, etc. So it's a matter of competitors, I would say. But if you come to our Santexpo booth or other booths on some event, some blockchain or some healthcare event, you can see our software. So it's quite it's a good way to see our software, because we make some demonstration, etc. on the booth. So yeah, I think you have to come to the booth to see the software.
So you're welcome
to
come this Santexpo event. When is it?
It's to 21 to 23rd May.
In Paris?
In Paris, yeah. In Paris, Versailles.
Yeah, and it's the exposition is free for everyone to enter.
It's free for everyone, of course.
So if you want to grab some goodies, because we're going to have some goodies for the community, and see the team and see the software and everything, you're welcome to come to see us. And
of course, and the community is always welcome to see us at the event. Okay, so Thomas, what are the big goals for the international expansion?
Yes, so as you know, we are a French team. We are in France, and we have deployed in a lot of French hospitals. And you know also that we to go outside of the French border, it's better to be well prepared and ready to take a whole market very fast. So I would say that the first step to conquer a new market is to have a good coverage of the home market. So first we are pushing also and working also with the product team for them to have a great coverage, and they are very making great strides forward. So it's moving very fast. As you can see in the roadmap, we are building the MCO hospital. We are almost there. And next will be the big university hospital and the coverage for a complex hospital like CHU in France, in French. So after that, the product will move on the other side of the border. But before that, we are in advanced discussions also with the whole countries, because we are also targeting groups of hospitals or hospitals in a small country. So we are talking with small countries in Europe and abroad also. And Mathieu also went overseas in Orlando, and I will.
So I was in Orlando and Atlanta 2 weeks ago to see and to be at the HIMSS conference. It's a big IT healthcare conference about a lot of software in the US market, but not only the US market, worldwide. It was really great and really, I would say, amazing about the technology, about the AI. We talk about AI everywhere, especially in healthcare, and so there was a lot of a lot of innovation about AI and LLM, large language models. Yeah, in fact, we have a lot of AI everywhere, but I'm not sure that the companies has a real use case about AI now, because yeah, of course, there is ChatGPT, Midjourney, there is a lot of AI application we can see and in our daily. But yeah, I think we are not so far from the US market for the AI application in Europe, especially. But yeah, of course, there is like big company like Epic, Cerner, etc. It's kind of competitors for us, but it's only on the US market. So yeah.
Yeah, and as you say, we see a lot of hype on AI healthcare. Some startups who raise a lot of money. The problem with them is to integrate the technology on the tools of the caregivers. Usually, they do a very nice piece of software, but it's really hard to plug into the old old tools, and in the end, they have a hard time to sell it because that's our. I would think there will be our differentiation from the others is like, because this will be completely integrated in the tool that they use every day, and it's how it has to work. Like for the caregivers, they have to not feel that they use another things.
And they want like a unique software for the hospital. So we are completely in this field, I would say, because if you have like several software for all the hospitals, it's a kind of it's mess. It's a mess.
And it's really hard to connect all of them.
Yeah.
Like in some hospital, they have 200 softwares that they don't discuss with each other. So it's a huge mess.
Okay, so we have a specific question about Health Data Hub from someone from the community. Do we use it, the Health Data Hub database, or not?
No, not at all. The thing is like Health Data Hub is a hub that aggregates some data from the hospitals. Probably we're going to feed the Health Data Hub with some of the data. But right now, the hospitals have better quality data inside Galeon instead of inside the Health Data Hub. The problem of the Health Data Hub is that they need to collect data from different data sources, and they need to clean up the data to make it in the same way. And it's really hard to clean those because most of those data are not so good shape. So in the case of Galeon, we have very high quality data, so it doesn't need some extra cleaning. So it's much easier to use Galeon data than the Health Data data.
Of course. I see a question from Mescu. We have already 12 clients in France, and we are expanding, and we have like a lot of prospects that is coming in the pipe. So we will have, of course, a lot of clients this year.
Yeah.
I hope. Okay, so I just take some question. Do we have like a AI department internally in our company?
Yeah, we are building this department. The first step was to build the other department, because in the end, the AI department is the cherry on the cake, I would say. You need to have everything in set. You have the software deployed in many hospitals. You have many data, and now is the time. So we are building the AI department, and we are actually recruiting actively on this area. So
feel free to apply.
If you are an AI developer and you mostly on Python or working on LLMs, we are quite interesting. Our recruitment is open for now. So we already have made some nice interview, and we are growing the team on this side.
Nice. So feel free to apply if you are a developer in AI. Okay, so another question about the staking programs. Do we have some programs that will come soon, Thomas?
So this is we have something. We keep it discreet, but definitely we have something, and
it is coming soon.
It is coming soon. Soon in the days
Ah, days.
nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Days.
Days.
It can be soon in months. You know, so
Soon in days.
soon in days.
So-
yeah.
So
Yeah.
staying, yeah, we know that we had quite a lot of demands because all our
Yeah.
staking pools are full, and this is and if you're new to crypto, you have to know that this is a very very good signal for a crypto company. It's a show of it's a symbol and show of trust from the holders because they put their assets in on hold for a few. For 1 year, 2 years, or even 3 years, and most of them are in the 3 years pool. So that's something that we can only thank the community and see that the community is very strong on that. So because all of them are full, then we'll probably very soon open another one.
Nice.
Yeah, and we see a lot of demand. We see every
Yeah.
day, like when we open a staking pool. So, and the good thing is, like during the ICO, we had a big chunk of tokens that are made for that we put aside for the staking reward. So
Yeah.
we have enough staking rewards to continue those kind of staking
Of
programs.
course, of course. Okay, so I have a question that is asked so many times. When Binance? No, excuse me. Do we have some new central exchange that will come soon?
Yeah, when Binance. So our strategy seems to work quite well right now. It's like during the bear market, we were like concentrating the liquidity. So we started to expand some exchange, and we realized that it was spreading as we have. We are not a big token for now, so we are not so much well known at the international. So we have a few buyers than Bitcoin, of course. So it's important at the right time at the price of the token that is quite, I would say, cheap. And that's in the end the liquidity is concentrated. So we made this move of concentrating the liquidity. And because we know that as soon as we have many exchanges, of course, it gives some exposure, but at the same time, it spread the liquidity. And we know that in the end, the big exchanges are the key, like Binance and Coinbase. So right now we are in touch with some exchanges, but we don't want to list yet because for us the price of the token is not high enough, I will say, to list on exchanges. So that's why we are working with the marketing, with the product, and to make the good moves to make in the end the token it can highlight in the token price. And we see already that the token move 80% on up since 5 months, so it's quite good, but it's not enough, of course. So we're gonna keep on going on this part until we reach a good level, and after we're gonna start to list on many exchanges.
Yeah, nice. It's a nice strategy because you can have a lot of exchange, but you divide the liquidity. So in a bear market, it's not good because you do not have a lot of buyers, and it's in fact the bear market. It's because of the bear market. So yeah, it's a good strategy, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see. But
We'll
right now
see,
it works.
Yeah.
And we have to understand that it's the bull run for the big tokens, but it's not yet the bull run for the small tokens. And usually during this phase, the small tokens are not performing as good as the big ones because all the money go from the small to the big. And once the big reach like high level, it's the money come back from the big to the small. And it's at this time that you need to list and coordinate the marketing.
Okay, so Thomas, how long before we have the first international hospitals? Because right now we have only French hospitals.
Yeah, so I gave some pieces of answer in the last question, but so the idea is to have a product that is ready for a deployment in a whole hospital, because Galeon started as a specialty software, but now he's big enough to be considered as a general hospital software. And the idea in the international market is to go directly to go directly to this general software market. So what I can say is, from my perspective, and I spend a lot of time with the product team to really understand the ins and outs and the timing and how long it takes and so on. But I can say that the product team is moving very fast, has a very nice way to set priorities. So what I can say is that it can go fast. I cannot say tomorrow or in 1 month or in 6 months, or I don't know. I don't have the crystal ball to say that, but definitely it can be fast. So stay tuned on that.
Okay, so we are done for the English version of the Ask Me Anything. So maybe one last word, guys.
Yeah, I would say repurposing.
Oh, ooh.
Okay, this one was big. So I just say enjoy, stay tuned. We have a lot of things to come. The marketing is preparing things and with the product behind them. So stay tuned, especially for the next weeks.
Of course. As always, 2 words: go Galéon.